Surgeborn Archon.
Hey.
How do you feel?
Okay now, but it was touch and go for a while. Lane will probably never forgive me. For that matter, I might not either.
I knew that fight. The spindle, giving her life like that. It'd be on your mind all night. How could it not? And I've been mulling over what to tell you this morning. I had a speech planned, but you don't need a speech. You're like me. It'd ring false. So I'm going to tell you what I'd need to hear after something like that. You did good. It was an awful situation, but you stood up and did what needed to be done without hesitating. Not many people have that kind of grit.
You're right. I think that was what I needed to hear. Thanks, Aurea.
You deserve it. You've come so far in here. We've all had to adapt. But you more than anyone. Look. I know you, Bryn. You're made of stern stuff. You've the mountains in your bones. Any sense of doubt or being shaken is just snowfall. Temporary, and it'll slide off soon.
That was the part you practiced, right?
Yes. But that doesn't make it less true.
Okay. Okay. Thoughts on what we do next? We obviously need to deal with that beast. But where to start?
We need to get everyone together. Our band, Arakim too. And I want you to call the meeting.
Me?
Yes. You.
He was always resistant to our efforts. Or maybe the Talon warned him of us, told him not to make contact.
Hey, Lane. How are you holding up?
Oh, fine. And you? Are you recovering from your latest near-death experience? We were all rather worried about you.
Thanks for the concern. A little sore today, but no lasting injuries.
Good. Good.
Are you sure you're fine?
I suppose I'm just recalling our interactions with the Eye, looking for signs that he would, you know.
Summon a massive Surgeborn through a loom gate to Cassidon's hold.
Yes, that.
We'd all love to predict the future, but smart as you are, even you can't do that.
Isla would still be here if I could.
I know. She saved us all.
Scholars rarely agree on much. But if there's one philosophy many of us share, it's that we must understand our past to build better futures. Maybe I couldn't have prevented this tragedy, but I can't help but mine the past for clues of what was to come. If only to stop it from ever happening again. One of the greatest tragedies of the Surge is the loss of stories. The Enclave might not be that old, but with so many dead to the Surgeborn, their memories most certainly died with them.
I can understand that.
Oh?
My parents' generation tend to stay quiet around the fire. Whatever stories Khanhanders had were beaten out of us by public lashings and prison camps. And we haven't had time since independence to start telling new ones.
Ah, yes. Bryn of Carnhaven. I almost forgot.
Wait, like what Dom called me? You were listening?
I always am. Habit born of a Udean upbringing, I suppose. But, yes. I suppose the similarities are there, aren't they? A population whittled down by catastrophe. Stories lost. Did you ever have the urge to press a little harder? To try and learn just one or two stories, even if it was painful for the person telling them?
Honestly, in that case, I'm happy to let the past lie. If I didn't want to look forward, I wouldn't have left to join Aaron's Weaver Band. And I wouldn't have ended up here. So I'm here to live new stories, not to dwell on the past.
I understand the drive, but do you think perhaps you might have been running from the grief too? Not to make assumptions, but it can't have been easy growing up in a culture steeped in such loss.
There's joy in freedom. And even though that's what independence promised, I didn't feel like I had that at home.
I understand. The physical chains are gone, but the mental binds remain. Perhaps our presence can help the denizens of the Enclave avoid the same trap.
I hope so.
Going to need more feathers. Nice to work on something a little lighter every once in a while.
I know everyone's up in their heads right now, but we have real problems to solve. So let's clear the air.
Are you running this discussion, then?
She is.
Sev, this has to start with you. We knew you were working with the Eye. We told you we'd have your back. Help us understand what happened. Just breathe, Sev. Start from the beginning.
I'm sure Bryn and Sola told you all. But I belong to an order called the Norians. We're sometimes called the Watersmiths. Imagine my surprise to learn our talents had been critical to the construction of the tapestry. Our order binds us to always help another Norian. Especially a high-ranking one like Stanild. And to keep their secrets.
So that's how he sunk his claws into you.
Did you leave the Norians to become Sola's apprentice?
One never really leaves the Norians. Not with their life. If word got out about me betraying Stanild, I'd be a dead ram walking. But no. My people have a ritual known as Ram Bralem. It is a time to pursue another path. And Sola was kind enough to accept me for mine.
It's true. I knew it could be temporary, but was hoping you'd stay on after.
What did Stanild have you doing?
It was all work on repairing the Grand Gate. He'd heard about our success with the gate in the Hollow and felt I might be able to replicate it. Thanks to your help, I was able to do so. And he took me more into his confidence as a result.
Why is the Order so secretive?
We've always been critical to the survival of Taza. Water is life in the desert, and we control the flow of water. The Elders have a secret political chokehold on the kingdoms. The altruistic Norians will tell you the secrecy is so no one can undo our work. But I have my doubts. And so, the Order operates in the shadows. I imagine they were much the same here in the Enclave.
The most important thing is whether we can trust you.
Yes, Sev. Convince us.
I swear, nothing I did was intended to cause harm. Too many of my Order are political animals. But there is real good to be found among the Norians. Craftspeople who just wish to perfect their art. To bring water to people in need. To experiment, but need the resources to do so. Unfortunately, too many of those resources are controlled by people like Stanild. They're all the same. They see a point of control. Water, information, wealth. And they abuse it. I thought the secrets were a necessary evil. For some great purpose, but seeing his chokehold on the Enclave, it's stagnation. You all have every right to distrust me. I am sorry. No more secrets. I just can't do it anymore.
If you can't be a Norian, then what are you?
If you'd have me, I'd like to stay.
Those of us who have been here longer than Sev. Thoughts?
He's a great apprentice, and did what was right in the end.
Still wasn't quick enough.
We need him. He's been exposed to Kenric Stanild's plans, and that knowledge may be critical.
We've all had a very tough time since we came through the Veil. I would have grabbed for some kind of normalcy or order, too.
You are all heard. And I would add that you joined us under false pretenses, Sev. You had loyalties outside the band you never disclosed.
I have a hard time accepting that he kept so much from us, but shared so much with the Eye. Who knows what Stanild, or gods help us, the Talon heard about us? Only time will tell how much damage that's done.
Lane, I hear you and I understand. Sev has real work to do to rebuild trust. Only you can decide when the apology feels real to you. Sev, that considered, you have worked tirelessly since joining us, and demonstrated an enterprising spirit and deftness as a smith. And before the blade could completely fall, you risked all by blocking it with your own hand. You can never be a Norian again. I do not sense that you wish to be. And who are the Weavers but a group of outcasts and misfits, just trying to muddle through together? You will stay, and you will help. We have work to do. Tell us about Stanild's plan.
Thank you, Horia.
This has been a rough ride for us all. This entire situation is unreasonable. Or would be for most. But not us. We're weavers, Sev included, and rolling with the punches is what we do. But here's our challenge. That Talon. It spoke. It knew things it couldn't know about us. We're on the back foot and need to catch up fast.
Then let me, as Soria said, help. After I repaired the gate, Stanil took me completely into his confidence. He'd been questioning and learning from the Talon, or so he thought.
Not realizing he was being manipulated.
He was increasingly estranged from his daughter. I'd wager he was desperate for a friend.
I'd agree. Based on what he'd learned from the Surgeborn from his friend, he put together a plan.
Use my people as a distraction to pull the bulk of the Surgeborn out of the underworks. All while he used the gate to... what?
There is a place, deep, deep underground, known as the Source. A feat of engineering unparalleled. It's the secret to the Enclave's power. The abundance of magic. The heart of the tapestry. The thing powering the Veil. There was only a single loom gate still connected to the Source after Asylum cleared all connections. And I'm the one who repaired it.
The Grand Gate would take him right to the heart of things then.
Exactly.
Stanil thought he could... what? Sneak down there and fix things somehow? Tear down the Veil?
His hope was to go down and secure a working space, sealed off from the distracted Surgeborn. He wanted to eventually fix things with the help of the Spindle. All glory to his family.
That arrogant idiot.
He'd read in his personal archives there was a system designed to shut down the Source. In the hopes of discovering how it worked, he had been feeding information to the Spindle about it in drips.
Meaning she might have been working on a fix for the Source without knowing it.
Then we have to pursue her research, clearly.
Good. But we still have the problem Stanild never saw coming. A great Surgeborn.
Which almost certainly will be unkillable if it operates like every other Surgeborn. It's hard to imagine any place more full of tangles than the literal source of the magic that's overflowing.
On that, I have an idea. If I'm right, we might be able to turn the tables and remove its advantage. I'll need Bryn's help if that's all right with everyone.
Of course. If it gives us a chance, we have to take it.
I agree.
Has anyone just thought to ask the Talon?
What would we ask it? Favorite color? Favorite way to disembowel Ashar?
No, she's right. It has clearly demonstrated an interest in Bryn. Maybe she could pry some information out of it.
I'm not sure I'll get much. But I'm also sure I'm not going to think it's my friend. So, worth exploring?
Then we have a path forward. Sev will pursue his thoughts on dealing with that beast.
My people have started calling it the Herald.
Of destruction? Doom?
Why not both? As I said, people are on edge.
Fine. Sev pursues weakening this herald. We work with the Axle to look into the Spindle's latest research. And if she feels like it, Bryn has a chat with our imprisoned Surgeborn.
As good a path forward as we are going to find. Let's call it here and get to work. I appreciated your candor in the meeting, Sev.
It was terrifying. Wasn't sure I'd be allowed to stay. You didn't get to voice an opinion with the others. Are we...
All circumstances aside, you saved the day. Solar and I said we had your back, and it paid off. Quick thinking having the scry open.
I knew something was wrong the moment that thing started talking to me when Stanild wasn't around. It was very focused on you.
Me?
So much so that it said the only way the plan would succeed was if you talked to it. It reeked of trap. I didn't survive a decade around Tarzan Norians without picking up when someone's holding a knife behind their smile.
But you still took me down there.
Sorry. An educated risk. I felt there was nothing it could do and wanted the whole band to hear it talk. I don't think it understood we have the scry.
And Stanild wouldn't use one, of course.
The Talon was his deepest secret. Whom would he tell?
Can you tell me more about Stanild's plans for once he went through the Grand Gate?
He was counting on Isla. She was exceptional at protective fields. But even then, no. I don't think he had a real plan. The Talon had convinced him he'd be able to survive and, fool that he was, he trusted it. We can't afford that mistake. But I have a theory. You know how the weather sometimes skews wildly hot and cold?
Right. The aeroliths.
What else do we see on similar cycles?
Miasma.
Exactly. So, it follows.
You think the aeroliths are able to affect raw magic somehow?
I do. And in Stanild's private records and designs. I found notes specifically on aeroliths with Norian commentary.
You think the Norians were involved in their creation?
It would certainly explain why Tarza had such access to aeroliths before the Surge. If I'm right, this might be the key to making the source survivable.
Fewer tangles means less dead me. Absolutely. Where do we start?
You'll need to head to the Watersmith area of the Institute, and I'll guide you from there.
Guild District. I should look for tomes on the Tarmakayan smithing style, and a registry of guild members here. appears to be a registry of smiths. It's dated prior to the retreat to Cassidy's Hold. There's one Tolkien smith, Xavier de Braille. Looks like he had a workshop in the Iron Walk.
We're getting close now. Watch for the flames. They're extra dangerous when the air's this hot. You'll need to freeze the hives. They're spongy and resistant to damage unless you can make them brittle.
That's more like it. Work with the scribe.
one-of-a-kind smithing. A compendium on invented metalwork. Solar will love this. Xavier's workshop should be cleared. This is sure to put a smile on Solar's face. Not made for traveling like Solar's. Xavier's diary. From a quick scan, it doesn't look like he was a particularly happy man.
Bryn, I examined the wreckage at the Grand Gate after everything that transpired there.
Found something useful?
A kinetic strand, in fact. The Ark must have torn it from the Herald's pattern in the chaos of the battle.
Think we could weave it into my mantle?
I don't see why not. Its pattern appears to be quite similar to those found on wild creatures and Archons.
All right. We need every advantage.
Then let's get to work.
The discoveries we can glean from your findings are incredible, Bryn. This schematic is much more complicated than the previous one, though. And I'm starting to realize why Tarmakind is a lost art.
What do you mean?
Xavier used a traditional forge because he needed to reach much higher temperatures to work the signature Tarmakind vents. Unfortunately, my forge is built for transport. It's unable to sustain those higher temperatures.
Could we improve it?
Dom had that idea of a set of enchanted hammers. They, combined with the forge, might be enough heat.
He'll be glad to hear it.
Could you maybe get him to enchant them on my behalf?
Why? I'm sure he'd be thrilled to help you.
I know. We're just not on the same page right now. I'd rather be further in my investigation before I speak to him. Besides, he mentioned he'd need some cinder linen for the enchantment, and I was thinking you could scavenge some for us.
All right. This is a little strange, but I guess I can talk to him for you.
Thanks.
Hey, Dom. Sola was wondering if you could enchant a set of hammers after all. She's finally ready to use them.
Of course, but why isn't she asking me to do it herself?
She's been a bit busy with the Tarmakind stuff she's working on.
Right. I'm happy to enchant the hammers. I'll need cinder linen to do it, though. Do you have any on you?
As a matter of fact, I do. Here.
Perfect. I've still got some of the byproduct from your drake harvest as well. I'll enchant them right away. Do you think... I should be the one to bring them to Sola? Or would she prefer that you do it?
Why don't you bring them? This Tarmakine project is really important to her, and I think it would mean a lot if you helped out.
You're right. She's the love of my life, after all. I'm happy to help. But maybe you could join me? After all, you're the one she's been entrusting the details of her work to. Maybe she'd rather you be there.
I could come, if you really think that's best, but it kind of seems like the two of you should...
Great, it's settled. We'll both go.
Yeah. Okay.
And we're finished. This will be quite the powerful addition to your mantle.
How so?
This strand can twist kinetic magic into a tunnel. In battle, you could push debris or enemies through it and send them flying through the air quite forcefully.
Could I jump through it?
I suppose you could?
Hey, there's a lot of tall buildings, flying creatures. This is going to be great.
You're right. Just try to be careful.
This isn't working. The forge isn't hot enough.
I've stoked the forge before.
No, this work is somewhat more precise. It's not all bad news. I can forge a set of Tarmakine arms now. I'll give you the design. But the remaining pieces are too large to make without reaching the temperatures that Xavier was able to at his forge.
Sola, it's all right. We can figure this out. Maybe we need something stronger than cinder linen to augment the hammers.
No, enchanting isn't the solution. Sev and I need to head into Denevron to get Xavier's forge. It's built for this.
And it's exceptionally heavy. You and Sev are strong, but do you really think you'll be able to get it back here?
We have to try.
My love, I know this is important to you, but do you think Xavier's forge is a long-term solution? The caravan won't be able to carry it. You'll need to leave it behind when we start traveling again.
I don't want to keep traveling. I want to settle down. I want to stay in one place. I want a home.
But we're weavers. Our home is the open road. Traveling is what we do.
It doesn't have to be.
Staying in one place, it's not the life we decided on for ourselves.
It's not the life I thought I could have. But here, in the Enclave, it's possible. We could be weavers and stay. You could enchant. I could teach smithing. I could unravel the Tarmakine techniques and pass them on to a new generation.
You've clearly spent a great deal of time thinking this through. Without me. It's not what I planned for myself, though. Or even a life I want, for that matter.
But we're married. If we don't want the same life, where does that leave us?
I don't know.
Maybe I should give you two some privacy to talk this out.
It's fine, Bryn. Clearly, Sola would rather speak to you about her hopes and dreams than me. Maybe it's best if we take some time apart. I'll go.
Fine.
Sola, are you...
I don't even know what just happened. I can't believe he just left.
He was caught off guard. It will be okay, I promise.
I don't know anymore.
I hate to do this when we're already dealing with something like 7 distinct major crises each day. I've got 2 pieces of bad news. Which one do you want to hear first?
First one, absolutely.
Excellent choice. We have a stove problem. We use specially enchanted coals to maximize burn time and minimize weight, and we're dead out of them. And second, the stove itself is dented. Rather badly.
What? How did that happen?
I don't know. I don't do stove maintenance. I'm the logistics girl. Maybe Sev sat on it.
He's still got bum fur, so if he did, it wasn't on.
Regardless, this is a Dam and Sola fix. One problem each.
I'm not sure they're in the best place right now.
That's why I'm asking you. They both love you, and can be grown-ups for the good of the group. Arya's already sick of salad.
Ah, good. We're all here.
Yes, we're here to talk about the stove.
Anyway, stove's not working. Campfire sucks by comparison. How are we fixing this?
Yes, please, let's talk about the stove.
How did we run out of coal anyway? I spent 2 days in Varentia working on that last batch.
Sure, but then we ended up in the Enclave. So now we need to find more. Also in the Enclave.
I don't easily have the materials to process another batch. But the temple might have some. I hate to admit it, but that was the one really useful thing I took out of my time with the Church of the Hallowed Pyre. They know their fuels.
Great! Temple. But what good's coal without a proper place to burn it for cooking? Sola?
If we're able to find coal like before, then it'll just be a case of reforming and reinforcing the old stove. I will need a few materials. I'll draft up a list for Bryn.
Good. Excellent. We're moments away from hot food. Go team!
So I'll...
Go team!
See those massive pipes running along the roof? Norian design. I recognized them earlier, and they prompted my investigation into the Norians and the Enclave.
Confirming your findings that the Norians were heavily involved in the tapestry.
This should be the place, Bryn. You're looking for tablets with a circle marked by 6 dots. They'll look blank, but I'll be able to read them when you bring them back.
You're full of useful secrets, Sev.
That's one of them, Bryn. I hoped they would still be down here.
What should we expect?
The Norians were experimenting without informing the Enclave on the aerolifts. They wanted them to do more than just moderate the weather. They wanted to control it.
They got tired of long winters? Gloomy days?
Think bigger. If you control the rain in a desert, you control the land itself. their research together, Bryn.
Will I be learning how Norians hide their information, Sev?
Yes. And if word gets out, we're both going to be hunted.
The best knowledge is always dangerous. I shouldn't be surprised the Norians use a fluid to conceal their secrets. It's ingenious, really. An acid of sorts that can etch the writing into the metal invisibly. And when you apply another compound, it oxidizes. It's like a legible rust, and yet, after you're done, you can just wipe it clean and it flakes off.
Medium aside, what did we learn?
As Sev expected, research on the aeroliths. It's a bit outside my speciality, so I passed it to Dharm.
And how are we feeling about Sev's revelations?
It's not like I've never kept things from my friends, and I generally keep them from my family, so I empathize. But I don't keep them from the band. Anyway, Dharm's waiting.
Lane said I should talk to you about the plates we found for Sev.
Perhaps you could walk with me?
Sure.
I have already passed my notes on. This conversation isn't about them. I wanted to ask how you're doing with regards to Sev.
I feel for him. He's had to struggle with divided loyalties and had no one to lean on. Hiding that kind of strain can't have been easy. How lonely to carry that without help.
I agree. Our friend has been suffering in silence. You are kind to think of him first. But please don't forget, you are the one out there with her life on the line. You have your struggles too. There is a Bryn out there who wasn't deceived by her friend. Wasn't forced into the role of point so early, for that matter.
I promise you, I'm okay. But thank you for taking this moment.
Ultimately, I will say this. There was a time in my life I walked away from everything I held most important. Sev is handling it better than I did. He's not angry or bitter, he's just working through the problem. Commendable, really. I aspire to the same. It's kind of you to help him. I'm sure he appreciates it more than he'll ever be able to say. So I'm saying it for him. Sev already has my notes. Good luck in your endeavors.
Exciting news, Bryn.
You figured out how to clear the source?
Nothing quite that far along, but we are a step closer. As I suspected, the Norians were doing experiments not even Enclave leadership knew about. Not to just stabilize the weather, but directly control its extremes.
Which is pretty much what we're seeing the aeroliths do, here and now.
I honestly think that these experiments, left unattended, are the direct cause of the wild temperature changes. Likely contributed to the floods as well, though I suspect Asylum was the larger cause there. Regardless, if I can pick up where their research left off, we might have a solution to our problem at the source.
Did your research say anything about miasma and tangles?
No. Those phenomena are too new to be in the records you recovered, which are pre-search.
If we succeed, will we be able to stop the weather fluctuations entirely?
I hope so, in time. But the system has been out of control for years. For now, I want to focus on our immediate problem of the Source and the Surgeborn.
What did the Norians stand to gain controlling the weather anyway?
Their power base has always been in Taza, where the deserts need water to grow. Imagine being able to withhold rain or worsen heat at a whim. What kind of power would that give you? The kind the worst parts of the Order crave.
What will it take to move from might have a solution to definitely have a solution for the Source?
The research you recovered focused on using patterns from creatures with natural flame and frost affinity. It used those patterns to briefly augment one part of the enchantments woven into an aerolith.
Use flame magic to tilt the aerolith hotter for a time?
Yes, exactly. And they had some success with it, proving the methods viable.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but too bad there aren't miasma creatures.
There's one, and Dharm already managed to recover some of its pattern.
But not enough?
Oh, absolutely enough. You've been working hard and it's paid off. I needed an exquisite resonance from all three types of magic. And we have that.
That's fantastic. Is that it then?
We're going to combine them with the Norian's notes and Dharm's studies of the Herald to build a device to influence the aeroliths. I gave the design to Sola. She said it should be doable, but wants your approval on which materials to use.
If this could pull miasma out of the Source somehow, sign me up.
It's the most promising lead I have. And it's very promising indeed.